This was a sentencing hearing for Terry Martin, the dying thief who recently confessed that he was the person who stole a pair of ruby slippers that were used in the movie The Wizard of Oz from a museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota in 2005. Martin was brought into the courthouse in Duluth, Minnesota, in a wheelchair. He requires oxygen for his chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and his attorneys say that he has only a few months left to live. As a result, he didn't display a lot of emotion in the courtroom. He was wearing a surgical mask and sat quietly in his chair. Martin was sentenced to time served, which is minimal at this point. He confessed, he changed his plea to guilty back in October, and he's been free on his own recognizance since then. And under the terms of the plea agreement, which Judge Patrick Schultz accepted, Martin was going back to his home in Grand Rapids to live out the rest of his life. The FBI never revealed many details on how it recovered the slippers, but according to the museum's founding director, they're back in the hands of the collector who had originally loaned them to the museum, and the collector is now preparing to have them auctioned off and to take them on a promotional tour before the sale in about a year. The whereabouts of the slippers had been a mystery until 2018, when the FBI revealed that it had recovered them in a sting operation. Defense attorney Dane DeCray said in court that this resolution to the case brings a certain amount of closure to all sides, however imperfect. He says it brings closure to the government because they've now been able to hold one person accountable for this crime. He says that it brings some closure to the museum and to the owner of the slippers because they now know it happened and they got the slippers back. And he says it brings a certain amount of closure to Mr. Martin as well. He says that's because Martin gets to close out this last chapter in his life, and he can die without taking the secret to his grave.